You're going to love this. Trust me.
What up, guys? It's your boy Josh, the Dragonball Junkie. Today, I'm bringing you a requested video. This has been requested in the comment section on my other videos 2 times. People have been asking me for a Syn Shenron Xeno deck list. I got 2 videos of gameplay, and they're 2 of my most popular videos on the channel so far. But people been asking for that deck list, so I gotta give them the spice. Here we go. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are on DBS Deck Planet. A great place to build decks. Since Shenron Slayer ain't updating cards no more, we're going to build decks here from now on. So, let's check it out. I'm going to take you through the deck, and at the end of the video, I will give you a big full-size screenshot for a little bit of time. You can take a look at that screenshot. It'll be at the end of the video, and then you can make your lists off that. But let's get into it. So first things first, we got a lot. So our leader, what's our leader say? Blocker, when you activate a Shadow Dragon extra card from your hand, you and your opponent place the top card of your deck. So you drop area, choose 1 black Shadow Dragon card in your hand, discard it. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, then switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, or 7 or more black Shadow Dragon cards are in your drop area, you may draw 1 card, switch 1 of your energy to active mode, and flip this card over. Okay? On the flip side, same thing. It's a blocker. Our leader is a blocker. You may say, why do you want a leader to be a blocker? Well, I'm going to tell you in just a second. Auto. When you activate a Shadow Dragon extra card from your hand, your opponent places the top card of their deck in their drop area. Now, you're not milling anymore, but your opponent is. We're running a 52-card deck because this deck draws like crazy, and you cycle like crazy. You burn through your deck, so I think you're safe with a 52-card deck here. I've actually milled myself out using this leader against a blue baby deck because it was a very controlling blue baby that wanted to go into the long game, and I was not milling them out enough, but I was milling myself out enough. And so we made changes to the deck to make up for that problem of that you can mill yourself out. But we got 52 because we cycle a lot. So due to our leaders' abilities, auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and this card gets 5,000 power for the turn. At the end of turn, switch this card to active mode. So you'll always be able to switch him to active mode when you attack and draw with him. You can draw on your awakened side, but basically you want a lot of Shadow Dragons in the deck. Our deck is very heavy Shadow Dragon oriented because that's what lets us keep drawing so much. Because a lot of our cards, when we discard them from our hands, from an ability, we get to flip a card. If it's a Shadow Dragon, we get to put it in our hand. So we want to have a lot of Shadow Dragons. So the only things we are running that are not Shadow Dragons are this Supreme Kai of Time, this Power Burst. So this is our, and then this Bardock, and I don't know if she counts as a Shadow Dragon. No, this Toa. Everything else, and then this Bardock. Everything else is a Shadow Dragon. Even these extra cards, they count as Shadow Dragons. So first things first, I'm going to take you through our Shadow Dragon package, okay? So as far as 1-drops, we've got the boy Hey Shenron, Power of Darkness. This is a very good 1-drop in the deck because he lets you tap 1 to choose it to 1 black Shadow Dragon card, energy cost of 3 or less in your hand, and play it. This guy lets you get this guy here out for 1 without using Spirit Boost. You can also get him out for 1 using Spirit Boost. We'll get to that in a moment. So here's our 1-drop. And then we also have the promo, 3 of those as our 1-drop. So 3 of the promo, 3 of this guy. The promo allows us to start Spirit Boosting with his second ability. Spirit Boost 1, remove marker from your Unison card to activate the skill. If your leader card is a Shadow Dragon card, choose 1 Shadow Dragon extra card from your hand and activate it as activate main battle without playing its energy cost. So we want to do this. Our leader can do this. Our leader has the same skill on its awakened side right here. But this guy is a 1-drop that allows us to do it very early game. So we want 3 of him. We want 3 of this Haze 1-drop. Not that guy, this guy. And then we want 2 of these Naturon 1-drops. It's not that great, but it is a card that we can pitch. It's a Shadow Dragon. We can pitch it, and when we discard it by a skill, we get to flip the top card. If it's a Shadow Dragon, we get to keep it. So those are our 1-drops here, here, and here. This Natron is at 2. And then our bigger drops, we have our 3-drop Shadow Dragons. We have our 3-drop Natron. This is a deflect blocker. It's pretty much, if you need defense, it's going to stick. It's also something When this is played from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 5 or less in their battle area or drop area. Place it under this card. Choose one chosen card's keyword skills, and this card gains that skill until the end of your opponent's next turn. This could come in handy. So we got 2 of these in here, so we can steal something from their board, put it underneath this guy. He's a deflector. He's going to hit the field, and he's a blocker. He can defend us, and he can pick up a skill from something. So we got 2 of those. Also, a 3-drop is this Haze. He's a critical blocker. Everything's a lot of blocker cards to keep us defended. We want to get to the late game. This guy's also a critical. And when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, send it to its owner's warp, and switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. So you can swing with this critical 15k, and you can warp one of your opponent's battle cards, switch him to active mode to be a blocker. So that's another battle card we got. We have 2 of those, 2 of these. These are our 3-drops. And then also our most important 3-drop that we're running 4 of is Syn Shenron, Power of Darkness. This is one of our most important cards in our deck. So this guy, limit 1, if your leader card is a black Shadow Dragon card, when you remove a marker from a Unison card using Spirit Boost, play this card from your hand. Your opponent places the top card of their deck in their drop area. So this enforces our mill skill. And also, when we use Spirit Boost, we can play him for 1. So this guy will allow us to Spirit Boost. Our leader will allow us to Spirit Boost. And when we do the Spirit Boost, we pay 1 extra, and we can play this guy. Now, that skill only allows us to play him for 1. Limit 1. We can only use this skill to play him once. But we can still use this Haze to play another one out for another 1 energy. So on turn 3, I've gotten 2 of these guys out by using my 1-drop Haze and by using a Spirit Boost. So for 2 energy, I got 2 of these guys out. Gets around to limit 1 if you use that Haze, so this Haze is very important. Next, more battle cards. Any other 3-drop in our battle card lineup? Looks like no, as far as our Shadow Dragons go. But then we have a 4-drop. This big boy. This is our 4-drop. This is like our biggest boss monster. We're not really a boss monster reliant deck, but we got this guy in there. He's a big boss monster. He's a 4-drop, deflect, and barrier, so not much is going to hurt him. He's got double strike. He's got blocker. He's defensive. He also has the same skill as the Wicked Shenron and our leader. He lets us use Spirit Boost to play an extra card for free. So you're going to burn through Unisons. That's why we run 6 Unisons in this deck, because we're going to be using a lot of Spirit Boosts. We're going to be Spirit Boosting a lot and playing a lot of extra cards, playing our 3-drop off of our Spirit Boost, so on and so forth. But this is our big boy. We run 3 of him, and that's about it for our Shadow Dragon battle card lineup. We do have another Shadow Dragon battle card, which is this one right here, but this is in our negate package. So let's move on to our negates. This is also a Shadow Dragon battle card. It's also a blocker. This is like a Poutine or in Meki Kabura or the new Boo, or the most classic one that everybody knows is Toppo. This is like a Toppo. So it's basically it says 5 cost. It gets its cost reduced by 3 during your opponent's turn. So it's a 2 cost, colorless, negate. Then you choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. You negate the attack and play this card. If you played a card, your opponent can't attack for the turn unless they place the top 4 cards of their deck in their drop area. Each time. Top 4 cards of their deck in their drop area each time. So it's like a Toppo. It's like a floodgate. But instead of pitching 2 cards from their hand, they pitch 4 cards from the top of your deck. This helps our mill strategy. Now, if you're going against like early game aggro, they're just going to swing through this and they're going to let their deck get burnt down because they don't care, because they're going to kill you. This doesn't stop things as well as Toppo and things like that do. But if you get this out a couple turns and they try to swing through it, they're going to mill themselves out and you're going to win from mill. So this card's very important. It's also one of the most expensive super rares from Cross Spirit. So for these, gotta have it. Gotta have it. So, and that's another battle card. Now we have more cards that count as Shadow Dragons. We have extra cards that count as Shadow Dragons. So see, all these extra cards, permanent, this card gains Shadow Dragon in all areas. So when we pitch these, they count as Shadow Dragons. Often when we pitch Shadow Dragons, things happen and and we get to draw cards with our leader. We can throw this off for a leader. These count towards our awaken stipulation of 7 Shadow Dragons in our drop area. So if we're getting rid of these things, that's why we have a lot. That's why we have a lot of small numbers, because we want a bigger quantity. We want 7 different Shadow Dragons. Usually we're going to awaken at 4, but I have awakened at like 5 life because I have 7 or more Black Shadow Dragon cards in my drop area, because I'm pitching 1 with my leader, then I'm drawing 2. A lot of my cards make me discard cards. When I discard Shadow Dragons, I get effects. So we're discarding a lot of stuff. So we've got the extra card package. Well, before we go into the extra cards, the extra Shadow Dragon cards package, let's go into our super combo, which is also a battle card. It's also a Shadow Dragon. We're not going to be wanting to discard this, though. Sparking 5, we're going to hit that really fast with this leader. It's a Sparking 5 super combo plus 10k, but it's also one of the new super combos that if we use Spirit Boost, which we're going to be using a lot, we can put this card under our Unison and draw a card and get a marker. So since we're Spirit Boosting a lot, sometimes, I've never actually done that, but it may be something that comes in clutch. So I figure we run this one just in case. If we want to do that, we can get an extra draw. We can protect our Unison, so on and so forth. Now the extra card package. We've got 2 of the Ultimate Dragon Quake. Limit 1. If your leader card is Shadow Dragon, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards energy cost greater than their current energy and send it to its owner's warp. At the end of the turn, play any card sent to the warp by the skill to its owner's battle area. Skills negated for the turn. If your opponent has 15 or fewer cards in your deck, place them in the owner's drop area instead. So, we have a couple removal cards. We have this one and this one. No. We have this one and this one, which are removal. Your opponent chooses one of their battle cards. Energy cost greater. Energy costs less than the number of cards in their drop area, and sends it to its owner's warp. They're usually going to have a high number of cards in their drop area against this deck. So pretty much they're just going to be choosing anything. I guess the cool thing is this counterplay. If your opponent is playing a Unison card, they may either remove a marker from it for every 2 cards in their drop area and warp, or place it in their drop area instead of playing it. If they don't, your opponent can only attack 1 more time for the turn. So that counterplay is actually more why we're running this card. We can use it with our Spirit Boost and do the activate main / battle for free. Kill something. They're going to get to choose. They're going to choose something small. But the counterplay is good if they're playing Unisons. If they're not playing Unisons, you might want to side this out for more of other cards. But then we have, and these are 2s. These are all 2s because these are the ones that I want a mixture. I want them in there so that I have a lot of extra cards and a lot of Shadow Dragon cards. But these 3 are the ones that I use the least. They're very situational. So this one is Ultimate Dragon Tackle. Now this costs 2. So like this counterplay, you would have to pay 1 to use this counterplay. But the activate main / battle on all of these, you can use by Spirit Boost with this guy or your leader. So the Ultimate Dragon Tackle is 2 costs. You're not going to pay 2 for that. You're going to use the Spirit Boost and do it for free. Limit 1. If your opponent has a Unison card to play, your opponent places the top card of their deck in their drop area. Your opponent may choose one of their Unison cards and remove 2 markers from it. If they don't, draw 1 card, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp. So either they're hitting their Unison or you're drawing cards and getting rid of cards. So these 3, 2, seems good to me. Now, then we have these 2. These 2 I think are the best. Well, they're not the best ones, but they're the ones you're going to want to be using a lot. So this one, you use Spirit Boost, you use the activate main for free. Your leader, if your leader is black, look at the 5 cards on the top of your deck, add 1 black Shadow Dragon card among them to your hand, which everything in this deck almost is. So you're going to get something in that top 5. Then you may choose 1 black Shadow Dragon card in your hand and discard it. If you do, up to 1 of your leader cards gets plus 1,000 power for the turn, making your leader an 11k or 16k. Or you just keep the card. So you either plus 1 or your leader, or you get rid of 1, which helps you fuel your drop area, and your leader gets plus 1k. This card I find probably the most common one I use. I should probably have it at 4, but I'm already at 52. I cut it down because you really don't. Also, it's limit 1, and it's only a 1K, so you know 3 is good. 3 is good. 3 is good. And then this one is basically like a searcher. If your leader card is a Shadow Dragon card, look at 7 cards on top of your deck, then choose add up to 1 Shadow Dragon among extra card among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Or if you don't have a Unison card in play, play up to 1 Toa Residence of Shadow among them with a marker on it, then shuffle your deck. So, next, this brings us to our Unison. That's all our extra cards, correct? Yes. This brings us to our Unison package. So, originally, I ran it how I have it right now. And I played it, and I didn't like the Toa. So I cut the Toa completely, and I went 0 Toas and 4 Bardocks. And then I played again. I drew so much between my Bardock and all these cards, drawing every time I discard something, and it's a Shadow Dragon. I peep 2, and then I get a Shadow Dragon, and I drew so much that I milled myself. So I was like, well, how can I put more cards in the deck? Well, that's what Toa does. So this Toa, we have 3 of these. This +1, draw 1 card, then choose 1 card of your hand and up to 3 Shadow Dragon extra cards in your drop area and place them at the bottom of your deck in any order. This lets us get our extra cards back into our deck so we can keep milling our opponent. We can keep getting those and milling our opponent, and it keeps our deck fueled so we don't draw so much that we mill ourselves out. We really need this. This is necessary in the deck. So it's also a blocker. When your leader card, or no, when your leader card activates a blocker skill, place the top card of your deck in your drop area, then add a marker to this card. So when they swing at this to try to take it out, you want your Unisons because you want to be able to do Spirit Boost. And often they're not going to want to awaken you, so they're not going to attack your leader. They're going to attack your Unison. Well, you can use your leader or one of your many blockers to defend this Unison. And when you use your leader to block, you get another marker. So they attack the Unison thinking they're going to minus a marker from it. Instead, they plus a marker from it, and you get, you get some self-awakening because you're deflecting the attack into your leader. So pretty much the -7, I mean, it's pretty sick. -7, your leader card is a Shadow Dragon card. Choose up to 7 black Shadow Dragon cards with different character names in your hand or drop area and play them. Similar to the old Xeno Syn Shenron's ultimate, if you can get that -7 to pop off, you're going to do some damage because you're going to be playing a lot of cards and it's going to be scary. Different names, so we could play. So if you do that -7, you could play out this boy, then this boy, then this boy, and this boy, which we haven't even got to yet. One of these. Oh, that's a 5K. You wouldn't want that, but yeah, probably that, and then any of these 1 costs, whatever. You get their autos when they get played, so you draw on a bunch of cards. It's nuts. So that -7, don't count on it. Really, what you want is that +1. You just want to be able to keep your deck full so you don't mill yourself out. And then the Bardock, like, I know a lot of people aren't even using this guy, but I think he's amazing. I think that's why I cut this completely from the deck and just went with 4 of these because the only thing I need this Toa for is to keep me from milling myself out. Because with this guy, I'm going to be drawing a card every turn. If there's ever a situation where I don't have negates, I feel worried, I can -2 to this guy. And then if your opponent attacks with battle cards, they choose 1 card in their hand and send it to their warp. It's like a pseudo Toppo, basically. So if they're going wide and I'm worried about a lot of battle card attacks, I don't have my floodgate negates or I don't have any negates, I just -2 to this guy. And that's crazy defense. Or I'm +1 every turn to him. And whenever I remove a thing from this guy using Spirit Boost, which I will be doing, I send one of your opponent's battle cards from their drop area to the warp. If they have anything that recurs stuff from the drop, I'm going to screw them over. It's really good. I got to have this Unison in. So we went with a heavy Unison count, 3 and 3. We got 6 Unisons. We're at 52, but we cycle so much in this deck, I think it's okay. And then we have 1 overrun Bardock. Just something, just a little finisher, just something extra to throw in there. Surprise them, catch them off guard. Got to throw one of these guys in. I almost want to have a Champa just for him. But I don't know. I have a lot of. Yeah, maybe we need some Champas in here for this guy or for A lot of our stuff is already double strike, but we can throw a chomp on this critical guy right here when he attacks. 25k crit. So maybe some chompas. Maybe we need to make a little space for like 1 or 2 chompas. But anyway, so that's our Unison package, and then our extra overrealm package is this guy. This is our one of, and then our negate package. Well, we showed you this. This is one of our negates, and then we have 2 Supreme Kai of Times. So either through us overwhelming or our Bardock Unison warping cards, we need to make sure before we can play these, we need to get 3 cards into either our or our opponent's warps. But then we have a 1-cost negate that stops 2 attacks because it negates 1 attack and then it warps a battle card. The battle card gets played at the end of the turn with its skills negated. Doesn't get around barrier, but it can stop 2 attacks. That's why we just run 2 of these. You know, we want to keep our dragon count high, but we need a little bit of extra defense besides just these. And then, of course, our Sparking Negate, our free negate, the best negate in black, the legendary Power Burst. Gotta have a Power Burst. We have a lot of 1-cost black cards that we can recur from our drop area to our hands through this. So we get pluses out of it. We can negate stuff for free by taking a life. If they're not, whatever, if they're not awakening us, we're gonna have sparking. So we gotta have some Power Burst. And then last but not least, in the deck, our secret rare. So here he is, Syn Shenron, Corrupted by Darkness. He's an ultimate blocker. This card is also treated as black in all areas. It is a Shadow Dragon. It will go off with all your Shadow Dragon stuff. Counts as a black Shadow Dragon. And auto for 1. At the end of a battle in which this card is using a combo from your hand, play this card from your drop area. If you do, choose any number of your opponent's leader cards, battle cards, and unison cards equal to or less than their current energy, ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest mode. And then activate main for 4. This card gains double strike and dual attack for the turn. So, like turn 3 or something, if you have this guy in your hand on defense, if you have 2 energy open, they attack you. You tap 1 to combo him for 10k combo power. Helps you get out of attack, whatever. And then after the combo, you tap 1 more, so it costs 2 energy. You get to play this guy, and you pretty much get to rest everything. You're usually going to rest most of their stuff, unless they have any big battle cards that they cheated out. You're going to rest their leader, the battle cards, unison cards, all that stuff, ignoring barrier, switching them to rest mode, and then you're going to survive that turn. It's going to shut down your opponent's turn. You're going to survive that turn. On the following turn, turn 4, you can tap 4. You have a double strike, dual attack, 40k, and yeah, that's about it. That's just a big bad boy. That's the secret rare. It synchronizes with the deck well because it is a Shadow Dragon, and it works with the theme. So yeah, guys, that's my Syn Shadow Dragon deck. Let me know what you think. I haven't built a side deck because usually when I play, I'm playing in best of ones or I'm just playing for fun on Untap and stuff. But let me know what you think a good side deck would look like. Let me know what you think about maybe 1 or 2 Champas fitting in here somehow. What you think? Maybe we take a Supreme Kai out or 2 and throw a Champa or 2 in there. These Natrons, they're kind of like the weakest link in the Shadow Dragon chain. I just have them so that we have a lot of different Shadow Dragons. So maybe, get rid of something here to get a Champa in there. But, maybe it needs more Overrealm. I don't think you want too much Overrealm. Just 1 Overrealm's good. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. All right, Dragon Ball Junkies. Drop in the comment section what you think of this deck list. It was requested by 2 people, so I had to make the deck list. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would do differently. And if you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you requested this and I made it for you, then you better give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't subscribed already. Turn the bell on so you know whenever I make new videos. Check me out on Twitch for live gameplay at twitch.tv/Dragon Ball Junkie. And watch the videos I got planned for y'all over here. It's your boy Josh. We out. Peace.